Yeah, this is a big
conversation.
event. This is a big event right now.
Huge event.
I'm here with Erik. Erik, tell me about yourself.
I'm Erik, the creator of Frequency Tuning. This channel that everybody has been following and liking over the last 7 or 8 years, and it's been absolutely amazing watching it grow. I would like to provide clarity on how I got into it. Part of that clarity is I discovered binaural audio when I was in college. I was trying to figure out ways to give myself an edge. I wanted help focusing. I needed help sleeping, and I discovered binaural audio. So binaural audio, the easiest way to describe it is using an example. So if you play 100 hertz in the left channel and 120 hertz in the right channel, the difference between those two frequencies are what your brainwaves become entrained to, which would be 20 hertz.
Okay.
Which you'd be awake. So the way that I make my tracks, and I've had probably 8 years now. I've learned how to make them sound nice using just frequencies, which is kind of cool. It didn't start out like that. And that, if you dig into my tracks, you'd be able to figure out how I do it. It would take quite a bit of digging, and even that, I don't think people would have the one full secret sauce. But yeah, I'll just say there's specific frequencies. I have very specific frequencies I like using.
Okay.
Binaural audio has changed my life.
Go off on a tangent on that right now.
I say binaural. It can be isochronic, binaural. Frankly, most of my tracks, none of them are. I haven't made a track in years that is purely binaural. There's isochronic audio in there. There's monaural audio in there. I just say binaural because it's something people understand. My rabbit hole experience in binaural audio was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And this is a big old can of worms. It's an interesting can of worms, and you know the story.
Yeah. Are you okay with sharing the can of worms?
Some of it, yeah. Some of it I'll definitely talk about. But some of it, someday maybe I'll talk about more. It's just kind of spooky. And frankly, if you've been in the binaural audio, the hemisphere synchronization community, you kind of know what I'm referring to. Except a lot of this, I found documents that provided clarification to what I was experiencing after the fact. So that's what I mean by spooky and disturbing, because I discovered stuff that I had to get clarification for after that made more sense, which is kind of funny to think about, actually. So meditation goes hand in hand with it.
With binaural audio?
For my experience,
okay.
This specific experience. So I was meditating a lot, and I was using very specific tracks when I was meditating, a lot of delta, theta, a lot of dual hemisphere synchronization stuff that would stimulate both hemispheres of my brain. And I would start to see these visions, these things while I was meditating. Sometimes I was awake. Sometimes it was when I was asleep. Obviously not meditating. I was asleep. But it was it was just under 2 weeks or 10 days when I was having these very intense visions. After the first couple of days, I started realizing that what I was experiencing was something pretty miraculous. So I started writing it down, all of the visions, because some of these were not coming from me. Like one of them was for a submarine drive shaft. And I was like, the hell did that come from?
Yeah. Do you have anything to do with submarines?
No,
yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. So this is one of those times I was meditating. This time I was in a very deep meditation. I don't know what I saw, but I went out there and I saw something. It was a new drive shaft for a submarine that would pull the submarine through the water instead of pushing it, and it was a lot faster.
Wow. You should probably get in contact with someone about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know what though is the funny thing. So I was having all these visions. I was writing them down. At the time, one of my heroes, and he still is, granted I do not want to end up like him, is Nikola Tesla.
Okay.
I have read all sorts of stuff that he's written, to the point where that's why I'm like, I don't want to end up like the guy. But he, for various reasons, he's a very, very smart guy. But he was kind of the inspiration for me wanting to learn how to write patents. So it was at this point I had all these sort of visions that had come to me in a journal full of ideas that were seemingly from outside of me somewhere. And I'm like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So
You have all this
I
information.
have all this information.
Yeah.
So I thought about it and I was like, I started talking to my dad about it, and my dad was like, well, you ski raced with Erik Berger's son Joey when he was young. His dad's a patent attorney. Maybe we could give him a call. And so we did. I have lots of memories skiing with Joey. So anyways, I contacted Erik B. The guy spent this was a blessing and a half. He spent a year teaching me how to write a patent.
Wow.
He spent a couple hours every week with me teaching me how to do this. And we have 4 patents, 3 that are issued, 1 that's pending. The current patents that we have are all in esports financial technology.
Okay.
I think the biggest part of the last 7 or 8 years, though, is everything I've learned. I feel like I basically have an MBA because of everything I've had to force myself to learn.
Yeah.
In starting, an LLC, a Delaware C Corp, all this stuff that I had to learn. And I do. Erik Berger is my co-founder of that company. So
can we say what the company is?
Yeah, Era Sports.
Okay.
Erik B has canceled on me 5 times now. So he's.
Are we putting that in?
Yeah, we're putting this in there. I started out. I was learning about the normal binaural audio stuff, and that's when I started learning about brain hemisphere repair synchronization.
Okay.
And that's when both hemispheres of your brain are in sync. They're communicating easier, and that's when all sorts of cool stuff happens.
Example.
Shifting, reality shifting.
Okay. Like the Mandela effect?
Yeah, the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is the after. In my mind, at least the theory works, whereas the Mandela effect is the imprints of realities converging. It's interesting that there's imprints, though, because you think about it and you're like, if it's a perfect design, don't you think there'd be no imprints left over?
Yeah, because then people wouldn't think about it. Or they would forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd never realize it.
No.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe reality's breaking down.
It might be. It seems like it in the last couple months. I don't know.
Yeah.
2025 is not going well. At least for some people. I don't know. Depends where you are in life.
I suppose. Yeah, and what you're paying attention to and watching.
Yeah.
And who you are.
Yeah.
And where you are.
Yeah. So many factors.
Variables.
Yeah.
But that's a really weird, I didn't think of that because that is kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah.
So the next thing that this brings us to, so I've worked in esports for almost 10 years now.
Explain what esports is.
Esports, competitive video gaming, competitive gaming, League of Legends, Valorant, Rocket League, Call of Duty. It's sort of the 4 main games.
You don't have Fortnite in there.
I mean, Fortnite, it's an esport, but in terms of like collegiate and collegiate, there's not a big collegiate scene. There's a huge pro scene and massive amateur scene.
Yeah. That's the only game I play out of everything you just said.
You play Fortnite?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to talk about that later. What I do right now, though, is I built the esports program at Dunwoody College of Technology. It's a great school. That's where I graduated from, 2016. Yeah, if you want a school that teaches you how to do stuff, go to Dunwoody. Like that's why I went there.
Shout out Dunwoody.
I guess I'll finish talking about what I do. Is I built the esports program there. They watched me build Era Sports right upon graduation. They watched me get all these patents, make this software. We did some tournaments. So we play against other colleges all over the U.S., 3 different leagues. So think traditional sports, but with video games. We have captains, we have coaches, we have a marketing team. Typically, esports revenue comes in through sponsorships. Right now, esports betting is becoming huge. We don't do that at Dunwoody.
Yeah.
It's betting.
Yeah.
But it's becoming huge. And it's funny because that's what the patents protect. Looping it back, college, there's a professor, he got wind of what I'm doing with the binaural audio. I went through some federal human research training that I went through that he got wind of because I wanted to start entraining the brainwaves of our players to alpha and beta frequencies because I figured it would wake them up. They'd play better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If they're on the same wavelength, my theory was that they would be able to subconsciously communicate easier. So they would know where each other are on the map. He caught wind of this. We started talking, and we decided let's build an app. So like I've got a Patreon where we put the WAV files up that people can stream, but it's kind of clunky. It's Patreon.
Yeah.
So
you decided to design this app like specifically around this.
Oh yeah, it's designed and built already. Partly why we're doing this is because we want to start promoting this app.
Is it like available to download now?
Not yet. No,
not yet.
Not yet. It'll be on iOS and Android. Just mobile at first. But what it is we're taking. I don't want to give too much away, but it's binaural audio. So all of the tracks that everybody's been listening to, we are putting it in a separate app, and then we're interfacing it.
That's super exciting. Do you have a drop date for this? Do you have something you're working towards to release it?
So we started in December.
Okay.
We did a 6-month timeline. So what would that put us up to?
June.
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 Yeah, June. June will be the release. So a little bit of time still. Like I said, the app is done.
Yeah.
But it's cool because working at a college, especially a college where technology is the focus, we're very heavy in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Especially right now. We have put a lot of funding into our cybersecurity program. It is very robust. And I'm extremely lucky to be working with those students.
Yeah.
To be testing vulnerabilities on this app.
I bet.
Yeah. So it's a win-win. They get to work on an app that's in real time while
it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, get to have a bunch of testers trying to break it before we release it to the world. And something is broken, and it's a lot bigger problems than if it's just broken in a college.
Yeah.
So the app, you'll be able to listen to music and binaural audio at the same time. Additional information, go to the description page, the YouTube channel. There's more info there.
What's your YouTube called?
Frequency Tuning.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/@frequency tuning.
Okay.
Or you
there
can
we go.
just do /frequency tuning.
Yeah. And the link will be in the description for that. Definitely. So I play Fortnite.
No build.
Oh God. I build. I do not build well. Thank God they made simple edit.
So you've already surpassed everybody I play with.
Oh, okay.
Minus the students. They all build. I can't play with them.
They're crazy. I am put in lobbies where it's like, 10% bots still, I find the bots and I shoot them and I get way too confident. And then I go into a real battle and I'm like, oh, like this is not going well. Yeah. But I've been playing Fortnite since Fortnite was a thing. Like I have this is really nerdy. I have one of the most rare skins you can buy or get because I had a Galaxy Note 9.
You piqued my interest.
Yeah, so I had a Galaxy Note 9, and this is when you could download Fortnite onto your phone. And
Wait. You could download... I've been playing Fortnite since Season 2, but I didn't know you could play Fortnite
I was on Season 1, yeah. So
You could play Fortnite on your phone?
Yep, I was playing Fortnite on my Galaxy Note 9, and I got the Galaxy skin. Literally one of the most rare skins, because the only way you could get it was literally logging into Fortnite on your Galaxy Note 9.
I kind of want to see it. Can we clip this and...
Yeah, I'll put it right here. This is my Galaxy skin. He's super rare, very coveted. Probably makes my account worth some money. So
probably, actually.
Yeah, and I was playing Fortnite when you could play it on your iPad. You could play it on Mac, and then that became a whole lawsuit, and now we can't do that anymore.
I'm learning something new about esports today.
Yeah.
This is a whole new legal. I'm aware of all sorts of legal battles in esports. This is one I've never heard of.
Oh yeah, Apple and Epic got into some big beef. This season sucks. Season is so bad. Get rid of the swords. Epic, get rid of the swords. They suck and it's no fun. But I do use the sword when I have it.
I was just gonna say you use the sword. So does every
the only way I stand a chance against someone else with a sword if I have a sword. I love going in to I go to a very specific place. I loot up because there's always 2 legendary chests there, and then I just hit 2 launch pads, go to a gas station, grab a car, and then I'm gone. And I make maybe 50% of my kills by just running people over.
Yeah,
in a car.
Yep.
It's so fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially
because they just don't move, and you're like, I'm gonna hit you, right? But I think if they fire enough that I'll die, but it doesn't happen. I was playing on my Switch for the longest time, and then I realized how bad it sucks on the Switch because it's only 30 FPS. You. Oh God, it's so bad.
Thank you.
Switch is great for
Smash,
Legend of Zelda, all that kind of stuff. But for a high rate, fast paced game like Fortnite, it is not the move. No. It's just because, again, frame rate's super important. And then, do you know about ping? I just learned about ping. I feel like you should maybe know about ping. You know about ping?
I know my ping everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
ping at the arena's 11. We have 11 ping.
Wow, I don't know what my ping is, but I know if you are competitively playing in video games, people move to be closer to a server.
Oh yeah,
for their ping is nothing.
It is a big difference, especially at the higher tier.
Yeah.
Professional. I can tell you stories about this.
Yeah.
Of players that I had on a team that they're living all over the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ideal, but it's so dang expensive to move them to the right spot. So in terms of trying to make an esports org revenue positive.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
It's going to happen. It is happening. Betting is one way that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But team ownership is so dang expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Ping it's a big factor.
Yeah.
Especially if you have, you spent millions of dollars on these players, and not the team that I had. I'm saying at the pro tier. But at that level, then you're going to move them to the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
But then that costs even more, and you have to sell even more sponsorships, and it just becomes unsustainable. That's why I'm I got an MBA watching a new industry form.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't. If you would have told me when I was younger that basically we were going to have a, Super Bowl for video games, I would have been no, absolutely not. No way. And now.
Worlds, yeah.
Oh my gosh. 9-year-olds are making millions of dollars because they are so good at certain games.
Yep.
Is there anything you would want to share about you?
In terms of stories related to binaural audio usage, they just get weirder and weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan's heard most of them, a lot of them at least. I'm sure there might be some I'm forgetting about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to get to the point where we can kind of dissect and analyze and hearing other people's experiences.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Good.
How was the experience?
This was an experience.
That's good.
This
was an experience.
It was an experience. It was a good experience.
Okay, good.
I don't know. This is new for me.
Yeah.
This is definitely new for me.
It's new for me. You are the 3rd guest on my podcast. Yeah.
And the one that we have to do the most editing on.
Sadly, yes, that is true.
A lot of work.
It's okay. No, it's worth it. It's good. I think to finish it up, really go into your YouTube for a second.
My YouTube is ever evolving.
Mm-hmm.
The tracks that I've made over the last few years, it's evolving, meaning I keep building on knowledge that I'm learning. I keep building on things that I'm learning. Different techniques. A lot of it is based on feedback I read in the comments, but a lot of it is also based on my own listening to the binaural audio. Mm-hmm. Before it's posted, I've listened to the track. So if you're looking for new stuff to listen to, I would highly suggest anything in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Because they get better and better as my techniques evolve. One thing I would like to say, in terms of dual hemisphere stimulation, every single track I make does that. I do that on purpose. It's gotten to the point where I subconsciously can do it. Without actually digging into the track, you're not going to be able to figure out how it does it. You might. There's other ways that are more obvious, such as, and frankly, they're effective in their own right, in their own means. There's other tracks. I have one very popular one where there's a tone that goes from the left to the right and back to the left. You follow it in your mind and you envision a pulsing light. And you envision it lighting up the different areas of your brain. And that's one way to stimulate both hemispheres of the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. So that one's good. That's the one that I was listening to, albeit not on YouTube. I mean, on YouTube, but then also not on YouTube, but the same track.
What's it called?
It's just Hemisync Extended. It's
Okay.
like I wasn't even very creative with the title
Okay.
back then, but it's a good one.
Nice. So what are you pushing for this year? Like, what's your main goal?
My main goal is this app. We've been working on it so that you guys and gals have a way to stream WAV files. The WAV files, hands down, they're way better. MP4, MP3, it's still good, but at least like for me, like I can notice the difference pretty easily, but that's also because I've been listening to this stuff for a long time.
Well, thank you, Erik. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Morgan.
Of course.
One last thing I would like to say, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Morgan, I've recorded this like too many times. It's embarrassing. Like 6 times I've recorded it. And we were just recording me talking before this.
We were, yeah.
I can't do it, Morgan. You gotta just be here with me interviewing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Anytime. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We did it.
We did it.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Probably the cringiest.
That's me. That's right. That's me. That's right.